he was, Joe Biden, and now they're going to say, oh yeah, he's the guy who plagiarized. That's
a lot of people.
Politically, that's devastating.
These clips are devastating. He looks like a Joe Biden wind-up doll with somebody else's words coming out.
If they're going to do things that are stupid as well as immoral, then they're probably too dumb to have the job of president.
All right, guys, so I'm pretty sure all of you have heard something about this George Santos story. The guy that is the newly elected, openly gay, Latino, Jewish Republican for Congress, okay? This guy flipped a blue district, a Biden district, a heavy Biden district, red during the midterms. However, come to find out that this guy basically lied about his whole life, right, on his resume, and people are furious about it, okay? Because this guy quite literally lied about everything. Okay, he lied about where he went to school. He lied about his work. He apparently lied about being Jewish, and now it seems like maybe he's lying about being gay, right? As he did not disclose that he used to be in a marriage or relationship with a woman. Okay, so this guy may have lied about everything. And I got to tell you guys up front, I find this story to be absolutely hilarious for multiple reasons, because I can't tell if this guy is just a masterful troll or if he really is just an unethical liar who will do anything to accumulate power, which is basically par for the course when it comes to all politicians, right? I don't see this guy lying or allegedly lying as any different than the status quo for politicians in Washington, which is why I'm trying to figure out why there's so much outrage over this, right? But again, I find this story to be hilarious for multiple reasons, and I'm going to get into that. But first, I want to play a news clip so that you guys can get a better understanding of this story and also the reaction that voters are having to the fact that all this stuff is coming out about this guy that seems to suggest that he was not honest about his resume in his past when he was campaigning. Take a look.
Facing allegations he lied on his resume, New York Congressman-elect George Santos has this to say.
If I disappointed anyone by resume embellishments, I'm sorry.
Adding,
a lot of people overstate in their resumes or twist a little bit or ingratiate themselves.
Among the claims embellished his graduation from Baruch College. Santos tells the New York Post, I didn't graduate from any institution of higher learning. The Republican is under fire after the New York Times revealed his biography couldn't be entirely corroborated, including a claim on his website that he used to be an associate asset manager at Citigroup. The 34-year-old now saying he never worked directly for Citigroup. And there are questions about his heritage. Here's Santos at the Republican Jewish Coalition last November, speaking about Congressman Lee Zeldin.
Lee has served as an inspiration, as a friend, and as a leader for the Jewish folks in Congress and for all of us in this room, by at one point being just 2 members. So now we're going to be 3.
Santos tells the Post, I never claimed to be Jewish. I am Catholic. He has not responded to NBC News' request for comment. Today, his constituents in Long Island had mixed opinions.
What do you think should happen with George Santos?
I'm very concerned about it. I think I would like to see the election done over.
For this voter, the important thing is policy.
I think he embellished his resume.
Do you think that disqualifies him from being a congressman?
No.
Teodora Chufayan voted for Santos and was drawn to his positions on pushing back on COVID-19 measures in schools.
Kids! My child, my choice! My child, my choice!
But the Nassau County mom showed up at a rally this week organized by state Democrats to call on him to resign.
The whole persona that he created and the ability to deceive us is just so troubling. This man should not be allowed to be in office. And we all know it. I want to assure you, the Republicans know it too.
Santos insists he's still committed to serve. Once sworn in, it would take an act of a Republican-controlled House to remove him. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, Great Neck, New York.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I find this to be hilarious. Because a lot of these Democrats who are complaining, right, about this, they probably voted for the guy not because of his policies, okay? They probably voted for him because he had a ton of infinity stones of wokeness, okay? He's Jewish, right? Or he alleged that he was Jewish. Okay, apparently lied about that. He's gay, right? Which apparently could be lying about that too. Who knows? Even though he does have a husband, but he used to be married to a woman Didn't disclose that. He's Latino. He's an immigrant. I guarantee you, they went out and voted for him because of all those things and not necessarily because of policy. Because if you voted for him based off policy, I think that you definitely should be upset that he lied. However, at the end of the day, I mean, look at it like this. If he doesn't execute on a policy, right? If he doesn't vote the way you want him to vote, then you just vote him out, right? You just vote him out again next time he's up for re-election. Because again, it's not like you don't have, politicians in Congress like they don't all lie. They all lied. They're all fake, okay? Now, are they lying to this extent? Probably not. But again, we get lied to every single day. And I just love how there's so much outrage over this. Like, we've never seen this before from politicians. When literally the President of the United States faced hot water for basically doing the same thing that George Santos did in regards to embellishing his resume and his credentials. If you don't believe me, take a look at this resurfaced clip of Joe Biden getting called out for lying about his resume. Take a look.
Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
It's in terminal condition.
Terminal? Eleanor?
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
Morton?
Dying.
I say dead.
What's behind the words? What's there? And a lot of people, the rap on Biden has always been that it's just a surface.
I should have said, to paraphrase Neil Kinnock, it's the only time I didn't, in all the times I've ever used it.
But CBS News found a tape of a second instance.
It reappeared in the New York Times with a new charge, that Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children.
The health of our children.
The quality of our education.
The quality of their education.
The joy of their play.
Or the joy of their play.
Biden gave Kennedy no credit. He has also quoted or paraphrased John Kennedy, Hubert Humphrey, and British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, all without credit.
Joseph Biden admitted today that he committed plagiarism when he was in law school. He said it was a mistake, but that it was unintentional.
He quoted 5 pages of someone else's work without proper citation.
I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
He was given an F.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been dumb.
To the political community in Washington, it all seems of a piece. Plagiarism at law school, plagiarism on the stump.
The great communicator. Strike that. The great imitator.
You don't steal verbatim, or when you do, as he did 99% of the time, you give credit.
Biden's critics say he sells himself as a man whose words and visions can inspire a new generation in politics. But if the thoughts, phrases, and visions really belong to others, it's a form of false advertising.
Is it a wise idea, though, to take something that personal, anyway, from another politician and try and appropriate it to your own campaign?
I think it was a stupid thing to appropriate material that was really very personal, that was someone else's.
Most people didn't know who he was, Joe Biden, and now they're going to say, oh, yeah, he's the guy who plagiarized. That's
a lot of people.
Politically, that's devastating.
These clips are devastating. He looks like a Joe Biden wind-up doll with somebody else's words coming out.
If they're going to do things that are stupid as well as immoral, then they're probably too dumb to have the job of president.
The voters are going to have to decide.
Yeah. So, again, we're talking about a guy, Joe Biden, who became president of the United States, even though he literally lied about his resume, right? He lied, okay? Same thing that George Santos is being accused of here. And not only did he lie back then, he continues to lie to the American people. I mean, let's think about it. This guy routinely lies about his son and his son's death. I think he's claimed multiple times that his son died in Iraq. Right? His son did not die in Iraq. Okay. He also lied about not knowing anything about his son's sketchy business dealings overseas, which Joe Biden definitely is probably involved in as well too, allegedly. Yeah, this guy lies all the time. Right? But you don't hear calls for Joe Biden to resign or saying that, hey, he can't be a politician, he can't be president because he lied before in the past. Now, this is not me defending Santos and his lies. I think him lying is definitely a bad thing. I think it's a horrible thing. And I think that it's something that internally for him, you know, he should consider stepping down, okay? Because he did deceive voters in regards to his experience and his credentials. However, you know, am I going to be super upset if he decides not to? No, because Democrats would not resign, right? In fact, they would accuse anybody that calls for a Democrat to resign of racist bigotry, right? They would say they're anti-Semitic, they're homophobic, they are racist against Latinos, they're xenophobic. They will pull all those cards, right? Any criticisms of the fake gay Latino Jewish Democrat would be a form of bigotry. This is what they would say. That's the card they would pull to silence all criticism. They also would not force their own to resign as well too, which is what's happening to the Republicans. The Republicans are coming out here and saying, you know, well, they might consider trying to remove him when they take back Congress, or they're getting a lot of pressure to do so. And quite honestly, I don't think they should do anything. I think that they should do exactly what the Democrats would do in this situation. Be like, well, he got elected, and at the end of the day, you know, it's for the people to decide next time around whether or not he's doing a good job as a representative. And that's it, you know, because again, what would Democrats do in this situation? That's exactly what they would do. They would ignore it. They would move on past it. They would pretend like it never happened. Again, I mean, Elizabeth Warren, she made a career pretending that she was a Native American, right? That she was Pocahontas. Again, where's her calls to resign? Again, how offensive is that? How offensive is it for a white lady to pretend that she's a Native American, to make a career off of being a Native American, especially considering the historical injustices against Native Americans that happened in the past and how that still affects them today, right? We're making a woke argument here. So, again, why is it just when Republicans do this, there is now calls to resign? Oh, he needs to resign. Republicans need to be above the fray. Right? They need to be ethical about this. They need to be better than the Democrats. And I'm like, nah, Republicans have not gained anything from being better than the Democrats, right? Every time Republicans take the high road, they don't gain anything from it. They're still going to smear you. You're still going to be, you know, insurrectionists, white supremacists, etc. Might as well just let the guy stay, right? Might as well just let him stay. You're not going to gain anything from it, okay? You're not going to gain anything from it. So, I don't know. Again, I think it's terrible that this guy lied. I think that he should consider resigning himself. However, I don't think Republicans should do anything about it. I think they should just ignore it and just, you know, again, just, you know, pull the Democrat playbook, right? That's what the Democrats would do. They would just ignore it. They would just pretend like it doesn't exist. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.